When deciding on a science experiment to use, it's really neat if you can pick one that you have some interest in. So for mine, I decided to make popcorn using two different variables, butter and safflower oil, and I'm going to see through 10 experiments each which one pops faster, which liquid causes it to pop faster. So let's begin. I'm going to turn my oven on to medium-high, using the same pan for each. I'm going to leave the lid off until it heats up. I'm going to heat it up for 2 minutes. Start my timer now. While that's heating, let me show you the ingredients I have over here. In each cupcake holder, I have exactly 10 popcorn kernels to equal out the same results each time. I have a bowl to hold all my finished popcorn in until the end, and I'm going to eat it all. And we have our measuring spoon here. We're going to use a half a teaspoon. For the first experiment, we're going to begin with using the safflower oil. I can already feel the pan is getting hot. The pan has now had 2 minutes exactly to heat, so I'm going to add my oil. We're going to use half a teaspoon for each experiment. I'm going to swirl the pan to coat, and then begin my timer, and let's start with the first batch. In they go. Listening for the first pop. And there we have it at 19 seconds. So first batch at 19. Make sure they all get popped in there. All right. We're on to trial number 2. I have again let the pan heat up for 2 minutes. I'm going to try my second half a teaspoon oil here. And then give it a swirl. And try our next 10 kernels. In they go. Stopwatch started. And here we go. We're listening. I heard one at 15 seconds that time. Okay, we'll dump those out, clean out our pan, record our time. That was 4 seconds faster that time. We're on to batch 3. I have let the pan heat up again for another 2 minutes. We're going to put in our oil, give it a swirl, drop in our 3rd batch of popcorn, stop, watch, and go. The house already smells good. It's going to be hard to wait till all 20 are done to eat this. Oh, I hear 19 again. All right. Record our time, 19, just like the first one. We are on to experiment number 4. I have my pan heated for 2 minutes. I'm going to add my ½ teaspoon of oil in there. Stir it around to coat the bottom. And grab batch number 4. In they go. Stopwatch is started. Record our time. We're on now to experiment number 5. I have my top pan here. I've added my oil. Coat the safflower oil around to cover the bottom. Add my next batch. Start that timer. Get shaken. You guys don't want to pop. There we go. That was a long one. That was 27 seconds. Okay. In they go. Turn off the heat. 27 seconds. We're on to experiment number 6. I have a very hot pan. Add my oil. Stir that around. Next little babies go in. Start that timer. Let's get cooking. There we go, 22 seconds. Into the pot you go. Cool off. On to the next. All right, guys, we have a hot pan again. Let me add my oil. Another ½ teaspoon of safflower oil. Stir that around. Add batch number 6. Start that timer. Get cooking. right, on to round number 8. I'm going to pour in my safflower oil into my hot pan here. Coat that all around. Number 8 is going in. And let's listen. Please start that stopwatch. There we go, 1. Triggered a lot of false alarms with these 2 batches. You'd think of them here in the tops. All right. There we go. Record that one was 37. All right, moving right along with our 9th safflower oil experiment. Go ahead and coat the bottom there with that safflower oil. Add our next little batch, start her up. Ooh, that was fast. 18 seconds. All right. Then you go to the pot. All right, now boys and girls, this is our 10th and final safflower oil experiment. I have my pan heated. And add my oil. Throw in the last bit of popcorn there. Start that watch. Woo! That was really quick batch. All right. Pour down my time. I'm going to turn off my burner. I'm going to let that cool down completely. I'm going to wash my teaspoon in my pot completely, dry it all off and cool it down. And we're going to start the butter. All right, we're back, and now we're going to make the really delicious popcorn using butter. So I have my nice, dry, clean pan here. I'm going to turn the stove back on to medium-high, set my timer, and we'll let that heat up for 2 minutes, the exact same heating time as before. I have my butter out now. Move over our next specimens a little closer. feel that heat coming up there. We're just about at 2 minutes. Take my half a teaspoon here, scrape it out into the pan. Coat that around. Oh, you hear a nice sizzle. Ooh, the smell of sizzling butter. Let's drop in our specimens. Start that timer and let's go with number 1. My prediction is that the oil will actually be faster than the butter, so let's see if I'm right. We got one at 39 seconds. So far, that's a lot longer than our oil took on the first try. But remember, we're going to do the average of 10 on each one. We have some oil ones that take quite a long time. Oh, wow. Jot down our time there. I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but look at the difference in these kernels. This was our oil, this was our butter. The oil one is about half the size of the butter popcorn, so that's a different experiment all in itself, but I can't wait to eat these. All right, we're on to experiment number 2. I have my heated pan. Scrape in there my half a teaspoon of butter. Ooh, listen to it sizzle. I've got the pan coated. I'm going to drop in my popcorn, start that timer, and let's go. Oh, it smells so good now. Ooh, already, that was at 20 seconds, so this one was much faster, just like the oil. That was almost half the time it took that first round. Now each time I'm waiting for all those kernels to pop before I'm taking off that lid, because sometimes they'll shoot out at you just like a little ball of oil. All right, here on to experiment number 3. Got my hot pan. Scrape in my half a teaspoon of butter into there. Give her a swirl. Drop in those popcorn. Start the timer. Let's go. In they go. Let's write down our time there. Okay, I have a nice hot pan. Put in our butter. Add the popcorn, let them meet their maker. And start that timer. Let's go. That was a loud one. I heard that one. 26 seconds. researching this project that you can actually pop or puff other grains, such as rice or quinoa. Actually, doesn't they actually make a candy bar with quinoa in it, which is like a healthy crunch bar. On to experiment number 5 with our hot pan, our delicious butter being scooped up into there. There you go. Making it all tasty. Swirl the coat. Add my kernels. Start the watch. There we go, 24 seconds. I heard that one. All right. And you go to be eaten. Jot that down, 24 seconds. So far, my prediction was right. We'll see. All right, now we're on to experiment number 6. Got my hot pan. Let's scrape out some butter into there. 5th batch. 6th, actually. Start that timer. There we go, that was a loud one, 29 seconds. This popcorn, maybe it's bigger and it just hits the roof a lot harder on that lid. I can hear it more. And this experiment, I don't know if I would recommend for the younger children. I would have their parents do it and let them participate just because there's so much heat coming off this stove and I've already had a kernel burn my arm. It doesn't seem very safe. All right, puffed up buttery goodness. Record that time. All right, we're moving right along to experiment number 7. Hot pan, butter, popcorn. In it goes. Timer started. Lid on. Oh, 25 seconds. I heard that one. Ooh. 25. Here we are, moving on to our 8th batch of scrumptious buttered popcorn. Got my half a teaspoon of butter, buttered popcorn. Timer has started. You notice as soon as you put that popcorn in there, that sizzle stops. That's really interesting. Yeah, 21 seconds. Wow, I thought I heard the ding. Those are the lowest ones we have. Let's know I'm getting hungry. Oh, delicious butter. 21. All right. All right, buttered popcorn number 9. Hot pan. Delicious butter in the pan. Swirl that around. In goes my kernels. Stopwatch has started. Here we go, 23 seconds. Jot down our 23. All right, we're on to experiment number 10. Got my hot pan. Scrape that my half teaspoon of butter into there. Swirly swirl. In goes popcorn. Timer has begun. Here we go, 27. All right, that was my 10th batch. So I can turn off my burners, wash my pan, cord that down, 27. Now looking at my average from 1 through 9 with our oil average tonight was 23.8 seconds, and our butter average, not including this last experiment, was 25.11. So far, my prediction was accurate. We're going to look over our results. We're going to tally that up after tonight's feature presentation.